Listen up, presented by Dempsey and Sportsland. Ryan, I can finally actually breathe, and we actually apologize for the last video. Segrist. All right, now we definitely shout out to that subscriber for correcting us. We definitely will not forget that name now, because guess what? They have another matchup against this same team, and oh my goodness. There was actually, I want to shout out to Ryan. There was a subscriber last night, and they asked me. Now the score was not that high, but they specifically asked me what I have been smoking, and they would like some of that. No, I don't smoke. Let me break that to you now. I do not smoke. But man, they were actually pretty, and I think I said that. Go back and look at the video. 85-80. Well, it actually ended up being a 5-point game, Ryan, and that's that. 63-58 final, UConn. But boy, oh boy, I'll go ahead and let you take over before I tell you my concerns. I know you probably have on your game assessment and game recap a lot more concerns than you do celebrating a victory today on this Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where to start. It feels like I haven't breathed in the past 5 minutes, but I'm sure everybody at the XL Center and all the people watching haven't blinked or breathed within the past 10 minutes either. But yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a close game. I mean, I predicted like a 15-point game, but I mean, it was obvious the game was going to be close. I mean, the top two teams in the Big East. Villanova beat UConn in the XL Center last year on the same exact floor. So, I mean, we knew it was going to be a close game. Maddie Segrist is a very good player.
Segrist. That's how you say it. Segrist.
Seacrest.
Not Ryan Seacrest. All right. Not Ryan. She's not related to Ryan Seacrest. It's Segrist.
Yeah, and I mean, Segrist started off the game with the 3 right away, but UConn followed that up a 9-0 run, and it was a very competitive first quarter, competitive whole game, back and forth. The game of the year so far in terms of UConn. I mean, back and forth the whole entire game, really competitive. I thought Aaliyah did a pretty solid job guarding Segrist. It didn't allow her to really get going in that first quarter. Can't really completely shut her out, but I thought Aaliyah played pretty good defense. A big difference in that first quarter was the rebounding for UConn. They needed to dominate the glass in order to win this game. Huskies were up 8 at the end of 1. And the start of the second quarter, Lucy Olson started to heat up for Villanova. Maddie Burke hit a 3. UConn was turning the ball over left to right. I think it was 3 or 4 turnovers in a row there to start that quarter. 7-0 run. And it was a 1-point game all of a sudden, and Gino had to take a timeout. Usually when UConn takes a timeout, I don't know what Gino says or the coaches say, but UConn usually settles down and starts to get back into a groove. They went on their own run, 8-2 run out of the timeout. Aubrey Griffin, I think she was the player of the game today. She was great on both sides of the ball. Offensive weapon for UConn today. But she did have 3 fouls, so she had to come out. We saw Aaliyah, Dorka, and Aubrey all guarding Segrist today, double teaming her. They really paid attention to those backdoor cuts that she usually does. She only shot 3 of 12 in that first half, but Nova as a team kept it close with their defense, rebounding. They also shot the ball very well in that second quarter. It was just a 3-point game to end the half. And what an absolutely miserable start to that third quarter. UConn could not score to save their lives. They couldn't throw it in the ocean. 0 of 10 from the field. UConn didn't score until the 3:33 mark, thanks to a pair of free throws from Lou. It's not really like UConn was getting bad shots. They just couldn't really move the ball at all on offense. And honestly, like I told you during the game, they looked tired to me. Villanova had more energy, intensity. Nova even the rebounding battle as well. Segrist was heating up. She had an incredible second half. She almost couldn't miss. Hit unbelievable. A couple of those shots she hit, I couldn't believe she was hitting those. But despite all of those troubles that UConn had in that third quarter on offense and Segrist hitting those shots, it was only a 2-point game, and UConn was only down 2 points at the end of that quarter. In the fourth quarter, I thought UConn was honestly about to lose the game. Nova, they looked like they were in control. Segrist remained unstoppable, it seemed. But UConn just kept on battling like they have the whole entire season. they never really allowed Nova to jump out into a big lead. Nika hit a three, and that really energized the whole crowd. It got them back into the game. It's a good thing UConn was home today, because I think it really motivated them and gave the whole UConn team energy that they obviously didn't have the whole entire game. Dorka hit a wide open three, and that gave UConn the lead. Aubrey got 5 straight points. Leah hit a pair of free throws. Leah was great from the free throw line. That one of the big differences in that fourth quarter that UConn was able to win, but somehow the Huskies were able to hold on for a 63-58 win. But unbelievable game and a heck of an effort from Villanova today.
And don't look at me like the bad guy, man, but I want to point out, and not criticize, but I want to point out the tough points in this game, only because I want to see this team do well. UConn, that is. I want to see them do well when it comes to March. Yes, I am going to talk about March. I should not have to say I'm sorry about that, man, because it is approaching.
Well, we're only a month away. We're only
approaching.
A month away.
Thank you, Ryan, for at least having my back finally. No, I'm just kidding. I know you always do, man. But yeah, I mean, it's approaching very quickly. I mean, we talked about it this morning on the phone, you and I on the phone conference before this matchup today. And we talked, we always talk about at least 30, 45 minutes on the phone every game day before the game. We talk about, I was like, Ryan, get ready. We only have February and then March, if you know how to count your months out. But yeah, I mean, what I took away from this, and I always like to get the fans involved too in the discussion. It's very interesting. And I want diehard fans, they go way back years and years ago. I want them to comment on this video and tell me, because I am curious. I'm not being a smart butt here or nothing at all like that. Comment away and tell me, when is the last time that you can remember the fans standing up coming out of halftime? When is the last time that you can remember, Ryan, the fans standing up for so long in the third quarter? What do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a tradition, if you will.
Right.
Waiting for them to score before Huskies fans can sit back down. And I heard it on the radio broadcast as well while I was watching the game, radio and TV. It's been helping me out a lot more. So guys, thank you, Ryan. Thank you for that. And they mentioned that. They mentioned they cannot ever recall a time where the fans have been standing for so long coming out of halftime. And I thought that was extremely interesting. Yes, congratulations. They got the victory, but oh my goodness, like I could keep going on, but I don't think it's probably safe to do so. I'll just shut my mouth right there.
Yeah, and like I said, in that third quarter, they didn't score until the 3:33 mark, and it was a pair of free throws that Lou got. So, yeah, I mean, that was pretty incredible that it took them that long to score. But arguably, it was even more incredible, like I said, that they were only down by 2 points despite all those troubles. And I think that's maybe a positive that you can take away from this game. Is UConn obviously didn't play their best basketball here today. No. Villanova was really great from the offensive side of things. I'm not really sure why. It seemed like in the final 4 or 5 minutes of that fourth quarter, Maddie Segrist wasn't able to really get the ball in her hands. I'm not really sure why they.
Yeah, and I don't know if that. Yeah, I had that noted here too. I don't know if that was good UConn defense, or I don't know if that's the coaching staff to blame for Villanova. I'm not too sure what was going on there. So I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, it just seemed like she couldn't get the ball in her hands, but nonetheless, I mean, UConn played good defense and not, I guess, allow her to get the ball. But Villanova played a tremendous defense and really even the rebounding number as well with UConn. But I mean, UConn battled, and the starters somehow pretty much stayed in the whole entire game. Ayana maybe played 3 or 4 minutes. Amari or Ines didn't enter the game. And I just kind of worry about the starters because, like I said, to me, it looked like they were tired. So I'm just worried about the starters remaining energized for the stretch of this season. And obviously, especially the big game coming up, the South Carolina. I'm not really sure how all these starters, they're going to play 35 out of 40 minutes of the game and stay energized for all 4 quarters.
All right. So many more notes that I have on my paper. I wish I could go over everything. It would probably take Ryan another hour. I mean, we have loads of discussions of this game. again, UConn gets a victory against Villanova. But how about we leave that up to you guys? You guys comment away. We want to hear from you for the rest of the evening, all week about this game, because this was a big game in many ways. You can celebrate if you want with a shot of Jack Daniels, whatever you wish. But at the same time, there is a lot of concern. And we will head into comments, Ryan, before we head on out of here on Championship Sunday. UConn Huskies last check-in versus Villanova. And Ryan, let's get on down to James L. Phil. So a 5-point margin. Yeah, that seems awfully close, but Villanova puts up 80 points on UConn. Whatever you are smoking, you need to pass it on over here.
Well, it turned out to be a 5-point game, contrary to some people's beliefs, but not that high scoring game, but definitely a lot more defensive minded game. But like I said, I mean, both teams really played good defense, and it was back and forth the whole entire game. It's so hard to stop Siegrist. Like Gino said, I mean, you pretty much know she's going to score 25 to 30 points a game, even if you guard her as good as you can possibly can. But I think it was just, an all-out effort from the whole team, all of the starters for UConn, and just their grit to just stay in the whole entire game that got them the win. But it's definitely concerning. But it's somehow they won the game. It didn't seem like it from watching at home. Honestly, it didn't. But somehow they grinded it out and got it done yet again.
And it's always that much more interesting to see the comments after the game is already over, because predictions are always fun. And again, it's just fun. And this is living proof right here. Brian Wilkinson, Connecticut is favored by 21. Hold on. Let me tell you again, Ryan. Connecticut is favored by 21. I don't know what you guys see.
Well, I hope people took the under on that, because it certainly was a lot closer game than that. And like I said, I think it was pretty obvious that it was going to be a close game, because to me, these are the top two Big East teams, and it's kind of turned into a rivalry, and it really hasn't been much of one. But I just think of last season, and maybe it's too early to call it a rivalry game. But I think with Maddie Siegrist and that team last year, coming into the XL Center and defeating UConn and in however many streaks they had, 169 in a row wins of the conference wins in a row. But yeah, it's an intense battle between these two teams, and it should be another fun one when UConn goes into the Villanova's home stadium. So that one, I would expect the same amount of energy and intensity from both teams in that game as well.
And we'll say one more, Ryan, before we head out. I really like this one a lot, and this meant a lot to me, and I know it does to you too after I read this. Torin Bianchi, hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly. You and I with names nowadays, huh? Hey, people that watch this show, it's the best independent show about women's basketball on the internet. Please get them to 1,000 subscribers. They deserve it, and they are so close. With around 5,000 views on the Tennessee video, there's plenty of people who can give them a subscriber. Wow.
We definitely appreciate that. And that was the goal. I don't think we ever said it, but the goal was to get 1,000 by the end of March, and we're almost there. I think maybe we're 80 away now. So that would be a huge dream come true. I know for the both of us. I know both of us never could have imagined getting to 1,000 subscribers. So it really is incredible. And we of course thank you guys as always. And none of this would be possible without any of you guys.
That's it, Ryan. Again, as we wrap up the game recap presented by Dempsey and Sportsland, it's a final score. Congratulations to Connecticut. Another job well done. Even more of a show compared to that Tennessee game, because this was I predicted 5-point game, but I didn't expect it to turn out this way. And I don't think a lot of people did. But again, a nice, hard-fought win by the Connecticut Huskies as they have to face Providence next. Ryan, you will be flying solo all by yourself this week, and I wish you luck. Again, final score today, 63-58. UConn over Villanova. And Ryan, let's just save the talk for that February 5th talk. Let's save that for heading into next weekend, because I can't. I have to keep my health up and my strength up, because nobody can miss that February 5th game. And I'm hearing now it's already a sellout crowd. But for now, all eyes on Providence. And Ryan, we will see you this week.